Imagine, if you will, a universe not as a random cosmic event, but as a divine utterance, a sacred word spoken into the void that continues to vibrate through every atom of existence. This is the primordial world we are invited to enter through the Sepher Yetzirah, the Book of Formation, a text not merely read, but experienced, a map to the very architecture of reality itself. It is a slender volume, deceptively simple in its brevity, yet it contains within its cryptic verses the blueprint for all that was, is, and shall be. To approach it is to stand at the threshold of a great mystery, to listen for the echoes of that first creative act, the moment when the infinite, the Ein Sof, contracted to make space for the finite and began to sculpt the cosmos with the letters of a holy alphabet. This is not a story of a creation that happened once, in a time beyond memory, but of a creation that is perpetually unfolding, here and now, with every thought we think and every word we speak. We often perceive our world as solid, separate, and self-evident, a collection of objects governed by fixed laws. The Sepher Yetzirah gently dismantles this illusion, revealing a universe that is fundamentally linguistic and numerical, a divine text written in the language of number and letter. It proposes that the cosmos did not spring forth from chaos, but from a profound and precise order, a divine calculus. The foundation stones of this order are the 10 Sefirot, the emanations through which the infinite light manifests, and the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, the primordial energies that combine and recombine to form the tapestry of all phenomena. This book is the key to understanding that grammar, that syntax of being. It is a cosmology that is simultaneously a psychology, for the same structures that built the stars and planets are the very structures of the human soul. We are not merely inhabitants of this cosmic text. We are living paragraphs within it, our own consciousness, a microcosm of the divine mind. To engage with the Sepher Yetzirah is therefore to embark on the most profound of journeys, an inward voyage to the root of consciousness itself. It is a path of return, a way of tracing the lines of light back to their source, of understanding how the divine breath, the Ruach Elohim, became the soul within us. This journey is not for the faint of heart, for it demands that we question the very nature of our reality and our place within it. It asks us to see the world not as a dead mechanism, but as a living, breathing utterance of God, a continuous act of speech. As we turn its pages, we are not simply acquiring ancient knowledge. We are learning to read the world anew, to perceive the sacred geometry in a snowflake, the divine melody in a flowing river, and the hidden name of God in the beating of our own hearts. This introduction is but the first step across that threshold, an invitation to listen to the hum of the universe and to recognize it as a song you have always known, sung in a language your soul has always longed to remember. The world, as presented by the Sepher Yetzirah, is not a collection of disparate objects, but a single, unified field of divine expression, woven from three fundamental threads: the Sefirot, the letters, and the paths that connect them. Imagine a master artisan whose workshop contains only 10 primordial numbers and 22 elemental sounds. With these alone, the entire symphony of creation is composed. The 10 Sefirot Belima are not gods or angels, but the fundamental dimensions of reality, the primary categories through which the infinite light chooses to manifest. They are vessels of divine light, each one a unique attribute: wisdom, understanding, kindness, severity, beauty, that acts as a lens coloring the infinite light into a spectrum of finite possibilities. They are the grammar of existence, the deep structure that gives coherence to the cosmos, a sequence of emanations that begin with a point of concentrated thought, Keter, and culminate in the kingdom of tangible reality, Malkut. This is the descent of spirit into matter, not as a fall, but as a purposeful unfolding. a divine idea taking on ever more complex and tangible form. Simultaneously, the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet are not mere symbols for human communication. They are the primordial vibrations, the fundamental forces that act on the canvas of the Sefirot. The text describes them as engraved upon a sphere, a dynamic system where each letter carries a specific energy and consciousness. The mother letters, Aleph, Mem, Shin, correspond to the elemental triad of air, water, and fire, the primary states from which all others derive. The double letters represent the planetary forces, the cardinal directions, and the fundamental dualities of life, such as life and death, peace and war. The simple letters are assigned to the 12 zodiacal constellations and the human faculties, linking the macrocosm of the heavens directly to the microcosm of the individual. Each letter is a channel for a specific frequency of divine energy, a building block of being. When the Infinite One wished to create, the Sepher Yetzirah tells us, it, quote, combined them, weighed them, and transposed them, forming every soul and every entity through a specific, divinely ordained combination, unquote. The true magic, the creative engine of the universe, lies in the combination of these two systems, the Sefirot and the letters, through the 32 mystical paths of wisdom. The Sefirot are the nodes, the stable states of being, while the 22 letters are the dynamic pathways that connect them. This forms a living, breathing network, the very tree of life itself. To travel from the sublime purity of Chokmah, wisdom, to the structured understanding of Binah is to traverse the path of the letter Gimel, the camel, carrying the intuitive water of wisdom into the fertile mind. This is not a static diagram, but a map of divine flow, a circuitry of consciousness. The creation, therefore, is an act of divine speech and calculation, a cosmic mathematics where letters are the variables and the Sefirot are the constants. It reveals a universe that is fundamentally intelligible, built not from brute matter, but from intelligible, spiritual principles. To learn this language is to gain the ability to read the hidden text of the world, to see the signature of the Aleph in the silent space between thoughts, the fire of Shin in a lightning bolt, and the fluidity of Mem in the flow of time itself. Beyond the stark elegance of its cosmological framework, the Sepher Yetzirah conceals a profound and deeply personal allegory, a symbolic narrative that transposes the creation of the macrocosm onto the stage of the human soul. Consider the myth of the golem, the animated being of clay, which finds its mystical roots not in later folklore, but in the very soil of this text. The golem is not merely a monster of legend, it is a potent metaphor for the process of self-creation. The human being, in its raw, unrefined state, is the clay, a substance of potential, awaiting the breath of conscious intention. The 32 paths, the combined Sefirot and letters, are the tools through which this amorphous potential is given form. This is not an act of external magic, but an internal discipline of the highest order. The practitioner who seeks to create a golem is, in truth, the individual striving to sculpt their own soul from the chaotic earth of base desires and unconscious impulses, forging a vessel worthy of hosting the divine light. This inner labor is mirrored in the text's enigmatic description of the Creator as the carver of the 32. The image is not one of a king issuing decrees, but of an artisan meticulously shaping form from formlessness. This carving is a process of distinction, of setting boundaries. In the cosmic sense, this is the tzimtzum, the primordial contraction where the infinite made space for the finite. Within the human experience, this is the conscious act of self-definition, the difficult work of carving out a stable identity from the boundless potential of our inner world. We must contract our own limitless distractions and diffuse energies to create a vessel, a focused mind and a purified heart capable of containing a singular, holy purpose. Every ethical choice Every moment of disciplined thought is a stroke of this divine chisel, shaping the raw material of our being into a coherent and beautiful form, a living statue that reflects the image of its maker. The narrative deepens further with the concept of the covenant, symbolized by the letters of the divine name and the sacred balance of the body. The text intricately links the letters to the organs and the senses, portraying the human body not as a mere biological machine, but as a temple built according to the architectural plans of the Sefirot. The tongue in the mouth, the heart in the chest, the breath in the lungs, all are seen as localized manifestations of cosmic principles. The covenant of the tongue and the covenant of the masculine are not merely physical signs, but profound symbols of our creative and ethical responsibility. The tongue, with its power of speech, mirrors the creative power of the divine letters. It is our own personal set of building blocks with which we construct worlds of kindness or destruction with every word we utter. This symbolic narrative teaches that our physical existence is the ultimate seal of the covenant, the place where the abstract principles of creation become real, and where we, as co-creators with the divine, are tasked with upholding the balance of the universe through the integrity of our own thoughts, words, and deeds. To view these ancient symbols as mere intellectual curiosities would be to miss their entire purpose, for the Sepher Yetzirah is ultimately a manual for the transformation of consciousness, a guide for weaving the cosmic blueprint into the very fabric of our daily lives. The first and most accessible practice lies in the mindfulness of language itself. If the universe was created through divine speech, then our own speech is a microcosmic echo of that power. Every word we utter is a combination of those primordial letters, a spell that casts a subtle but real vibration into the world. Practical integration begins with conscious communication, treating each word with the reverence of a creator. This means moving beyond gossip, complaint, and deceit, and instead using language to build, to bless, and to articulate truth. Before speaking, one can learn to pause and feel the weight of the letters, understanding that the energy of a harsh word, like the letter Pe for judgment, can wound, while the energy of a comforting word, like the letter Het for grace, can heal. Our conversations become a daily workshop where we practice the divine art of combination. This conscious engagement extends inward to the realm of thought and meditation. The Tree of Life, with its 10 Sefirot, provides a profound map for inner exploration and psychological balance. One can meditate not on abstract concepts, but on the living energies of the Sefirot as they manifest within. When faced with a situation demanding unconditional love, one can consciously draw upon the flowing, expansive energy of Hesed. When boundaries and discipline are required, the structuring force of Gevura can be invoked. The path between them, Tiferet, becomes the harmonizing beauty that integrates compassion with judgment. This is not passive reflection, but active soul architecture. By identifying which Sephirotic energies are dominant or deficient in our character, we can engage in a deliberate process of inner adjustment, strengthening the channels of kindness where there is rigidity, or cultivating discernment where there is sentimental weakness, thereby bringing our personal microcosm into greater alignment with the balanced macrocosm. Furthermore, the text's emphasis on the elements and the directions invites a re-enchantment of our physical environment. The mother letters, Aleph, air, Mem, water, and Shin, fire, are not locked away in a distant past. They are present in the breath that fills our lungs, the water we drink, and the metabolic fire that warms our bodies. A practical implication is to live with an awareness of these elemental forces within and around us. To walk in nature is to walk through a living text of the Sepher Yetzirah. To feel the wind is to feel the silent Aleph. To sit by a stream is to commune with the flowing Mem. To light a candle is to engage directly with the transformative power of Shin. This awareness dissolves the illusion of separation between the self and the cosmos. Our daily life becomes a continuous, participatory ritual where every action,
from the food we eat to the work we do, can be infused with the intention of recognizing and honoring the divine letters and numbers that constitute its essence, transforming mundane reality into a sacred dialogue with the source of all creation.
We have journeyed from the silent, boundless emanation of the Ein Sof to the intricate dance of the Sefirot and the resonant power of the Hebrew letters. We have traced these cosmic patterns inward, finding their precise correspondence within the architecture of our own souls and the texture of our daily lives. The Sepher Yetzirah, in its profound simplicity, offers no less than a master key to reality, presenting a universe that is fundamentally intelligible, linguistic, and sacred. It concludes not with a final period, but with an open-ended invitation, a call to participation that echoes through the ages. The creation it describes is not a finished event, but a continuous process, a verb rather than a noun, and we are its direct objects, simultaneously its products and its active subjects. The divine artisan has set the tools before us, the chisel of the 32 paths, the raw material of our own being, and the living, breathing world. The great work is unfinished, and its completion, in some small but essential part, now falls to us. This is the ultimate transformational call hidden within the text, to awaken from the passive dream of being a mere inhabitant of a ready-made world, and to rise to the conscious responsibility of being a co-creator. The universe is not a painting hanging on a gallery wall for our detached appraisal. It is a living canvas upon which we are each tasked with adding our own unique stroke of beauty, our own harmonious combination of letters. The call is to move from theoretical understanding to embodied wisdom, to stop merely studying the map and to begin walking the paths with intentional, deliberate steps. Every moment of kindness becomes an activation of Chesed, every act of discernment a manifestation of Gevurah, and every word of truth a recombination of the primordial letters that first spoke light into being. Your life, in all its mundane and magnificent details, is the primary text, the ongoing scroll upon which the divine human partnership is being written. Therefore, let this exploration be not an end, but a true beginning. Let the knowledge of the Sepher Yetzirah settle not just in your mind, but in your bones and in your breath. Carry its symbols with you as living lenses through which to perceive the world. See the tree of life in the branching of a river and the structure of a community. Hear the hum of the letters in the wind and in the city's murmur. Feel the balance of the Sefirot in the push and pull of your own heart. The ascent to a higher dimension is not a flight from this world, but a deeper, more conscious, and more responsible engagement with it. It is to recognize that the divine breath that formed the cosmos is the very same breath that animates you. So breathe consciously, speak with purpose, act with sacred intent. For you are a letter in the great book of creation, a number in the divine equation, and the world awaits the unique and indispensable light that only you can contribute to its unfolding, magnificent whole. And so the sacred architecture is revealed not as a relic of the past, but as a living, breathing map of your own soul. The same divine language that carved the cosmos is waiting to be spoken through your choices, your words, and your awakened consciousness. The journey does not end here. It has just begun. If this glimpse into the hidden foundations of reality has resonated with you, if you feel the call to delve deeper into the mysteries of the Sepher Yetzirah and other ancient keys to existence, then we invite you to become a part of this unfolding revelation. Help our channel grow as a sanctuary for those who seek by lending your energy with a like, subscribing to our path, and turning on notifications so we may continue this exploration together. Let us know in the comments below what mysteries call to you, for your voice is now a part of this great work. Remember, you are not merely learning about the universe, you are learning how to speak its original language, and in doing so, you help to recreate it. Thank you for watching.